It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Be a good time, gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
Shots of a Trucker John street on a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John street. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream is gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest father you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the Trucker John live stream. Come on for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch him out, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen. It's a good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna Gonna talk some shit, hush it now. Gonna talk a little smack, gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Only yes, the trick of your life stream is the biggest ever seen. Watch your mouth, he said so. Not even sure what that means, but if there's one thing I know, the trick of your life stream is the best thing you've ever seen. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the truck of John Love Street is the best thing you've ever seen. It's time for the truck that jump stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah, the truck that jump live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time. Truck that jump live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time and go live. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the truck that John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the truck that John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. I guess, make sure my mic is on, right? Let's see. Yeah, mic's on. I don't see any gaps in the sides there. Looks like we're all set and ready to go. I had to go switch back to the other tripod. The other tripod is a piece of crap. Yeah, I'm talking to you, tripod. Hey, looks like we got a lot of people here already. Roxanne Arnold, first one in the chat. I think you got a streak going there of being the first one in the chat. Keep that going. Never Fear Fancy is here. We got Fancy. Margot's here. Midas Kevin. Hello, Midas Kevin. Jolie's here. Taking a break from her fun time in Florida. We got MJ Daniels over here. Margot's here. Margot's pissed about Nikki Haley. Well, you know what? She's a Republican. What do you expect? She was never any good to begin with. Robert Perez is here. Top of the morning to you, driver, and all the trucklers out there and about. Good morning to you, Robert Perez. Jeannie is here. Hello, Jeannie. We'll say hi to Jeannie. And Roxanne, Fancy, MJ Daniel. MJ Daniel says Nikki Haley is the perfect face for the GOP spineless sycophant. Yeah, just remember, as much as she, up next to Trump, she sounded like, a somewhat reasonable person. But just remember, she's still a Republican. She would still be against, women's right to their own bodily autonomy. Excuse my slurping. I apologize. I know that slurping is annoying to some people, and I'll try to keep the slurping to a minimum. Michael McAndrews is here. I listened to Keith Oberman today. Man, oh man. What did Keith say today? I haven't, I didn't listen. I had to him. Fancy says, I haven't gotten to that yet. Let's see. Just skipping down here to get caught up. Looks like we're all here. Michael Begano, John's background music. It's playing now. John is a good guy. Thank you, Michael. Keith Polite, is this music from the AI tool, Joe? Yeah, that's all from the AI. Those are all versions of the same song that I wrote. And then you just plug that into the AI and you can put in different kind of genres, and those were all different genres apparently. It started off with sort of it was supposed to be kind of bluesy, you know, and then it does these sort of pop mixes and stuff. Yeah, that's from Suno, I think it's called, AI, and I've been using that, playing around to try to put some music to some of my lyrics that I like to write. Let's see. Michael Andrews, oh my. Minus Kevin says hi. Michael Andrews is working. I had to refresh. Slurp away, says Fancy. Roxanne, hi there. So I don't know, was there a problem at first? Was there, well, because at first, I guess I did start a little bit late. It was scheduled for 9, and I didn't actually get started turning the thing on. It was like after 9 sometimes. So it might have just been sitting there, you know, just a still image or whatever, until I finally got the thing going. Just little things, you know, like I'm shooting this off of my iPhone, and I got this new case for my iPhone, and it's a little bit thicker apparently than my old case, so it's just enough where it just wasn't quite fitting right in this tripod. So I had to take the case off, you know, all that stuff just, you know, adds delays, you know, little delays here and there. So anyhow, here we go. MJ Daniel says, fun. I just watched a Sunday morning show a week or so ago about Randy Travis using an AI to write and record a new song in his own voice without actually singing. Wow. And that's something. That's something. Yeah, and then in the closing show, or the closing part of the show, the song I play at the end is also a song that I put my lyrics in, and then AI. I just put down for the genre. All I did. It sounded like an echo. All I did was put slow country, I think is what I put, and it made this song, and it actually came out, I think, pretty good. The sound of the vocal, when it first comes on, it sounds a little like Dwight Yoakam to me. And then as it goes on, it kind of changes. It's to some other kind of generic voice, I guess. But I think the voice came out good. And I think the sort of production of the music sounds good on that one, that country version. And then there's another version on that outro that is, I don't think that was country. It's more, I forget what that one is, how you would label that one. And I forget if that's just a different country version or if it's more of a bluesy version. But anyhow, I've been playing around with that. I'm writing another song now. It's called Paradise Road, and I've got pretty much all the lyrics for it. And I've been reworking the lyrics and kind of reorganizing the lyrics. And I'm planning on making a video, like a music video. So I want to go shoot some video in Vegas and on Paradise Road, because there's Paradise Road here in Vegas, and then run that song on it and just see how it comes out. So that's something to look forward to. A music video by Trucker John here. But that might be coming out. I might wait. That might come out a little longer because there's this new camera I want to buy to shoot it with. So that might be a while, you know, before I can do that. But anyhow, we've got Fancy says, welcome back, Jolie. Jolie says, I'm back. My cell signal dropped out. Oh, darn cell signal. Fancy says, oh wow, MJ, that is pretty cool. Oh, MJ Dale, he had a stroke and could not sing anymore. Oh, but his family, oh, that's pretty cool. That is cool, Fancy, yeah. I didn't know he had a stroke. Randy Travis. Oh yeah, that's right. I remember he was having some issues or something. Wow, so that is pretty neat that he could do that. That's where the technology really is doing something for good, and not just for people like me, or just, you know, kind of farting around with it. Roxanne Armfield says that is a great application of AI. Yeah. Unlike unlike, you know, wannabe songwriters like me. So anyhow, it is 9:24 here in the Pacific Time Zone in Las Vegas. It is already 76 degrees. We're supposed to hit a high of 91, which is a little cooler. A few days ago we hit 100, I think, officially. And we're going to be around 90 the next couple days, and then it might go up a little bit, then it might go back down a little bit, up and down. Do I have something on my face? Or is this just another mole I'm noticing? I don't know, over here. I guess. I don't know. I guess I'm just moly. Moly. Holy moly. MJ Daniel says CBS Sunday morning show from about 2 weeks ago, if anybody wants to watch it. Yeah, that sounds interesting. Michael McAndrews at 68, well, wherever Michael is at. And I forget. I can't remember everything. Robert Perez, hello Jolie, have a great day. MJ Daniels, we will be in the 60s, just right for me. MJ Daniel, where are you at? You're somewhere, are you in Seattle? I can't remember exactly where all you guys are at, but wherever you're at, 60 sounds nice to me. I love daytime highs of the 60s. I know a lot of you guys are like, no, I like 90s, I like 100. But whatever. I mean, you know, actually 80 degrees is kind of like the perfect temperature for outdoors, I think. And I like the 70s, of course. 70s is great. 80 is probably like the perfect temperature, though. Savannah says, those are her beauty marks. Yeah, I guess I get some beauty marks. I don't know, it just seemed like it was, wait, what side is it? This side? Over here? No, over here. Everything's backwards when I'm looking at. It just seemed like they were standing out a little bit more today. I don't know. Maybe I should put some makeup on or something. I don't know. Jolie says 93 in the epicenter of hell. 93 with 90% humidity, probably. Huh? MJ Daniel says Olympia, Washington, about an hour south of Seattle. Oh, I've been to Olympia. Yes, I've been through there. At least, you know, on the I-5, right there where the pilot is. Exit 99, I believe it was. Tumwater. I guess would that be Tumwater or Olympia? But it's close enough. I've Ubered into Olympia to go to the mall over there a couple times, and as when I was a little kid, probably I don't know 6 or 7 or 8, maybe I don't know somewhere in that age range. I remember driving with my parents. We drove all the way from probably Big Bear or wherever we were living at the time, somewhere in Southern California. And I think we were going to go visit my dad, which would be my like great aunt, I think, who lived up in somewhere near Seattle. And so on the way there in Olympia, I think we took the tour of what was the big brewery there? Olympia beer or whatever. What beer do they make there? Do they still make it? They had a big brewery there. It was a big popular beer. I'm not even sure if they still make it or not. Didn't they just call it Oli, like Olympia beer? Oh yeah, I think I remember going to this tour of that brewery, and then there's maintenance again. What is the deal with maintenance? I never hear them until I do my show, and then they're out there yelling. Uh-oh, Facebook streaming was stopped. Apparently Facebook stopped streaming, so if you were watching on Facebook, I guess you're not watching anymore. But anyhow, yeah, so yeah, Olympia is nice. Jackie, 86th in Texas. Good old hot, steamy Texas. Michael McGadger's too hot for me, Jolie. Fancy says 66, high for Los Angeles. Really, it's only going to be 66 down in LA today? Wow. That's not too bad. Olympia Beer. Yeah, Olympia Beer. Keith Polite. Yeah, I guess it was Olympia Beer. I guess they don't make Olympia Beer anymore, huh? But I remember it seemed like it was a really major brand back in the day. Maybe they still make it. Let me know if they still make it, or maybe they just sell it just regionally now, like just up in the Pacific Northwest. I'm having a tough time talking today for some reason. It must be all the moles on my face. I don't know. Olympia Beer. Kipley says the brewery had a cool waterfall park. Oh, yeah. See, I was so young, I just remember bits and pieces of it. I kind of just remember the big kind of, I guess they were sort of bronze colored, or I guess you would call it bronze or copper. The big sort of brewing vats or whatever you call those, like the tanks that I remember that. That kind of stood out to me when we were going through there. Fancy says, I remember that beer. Our housekeeper used to drink it. Sounds like a good housekeeper. Going around drinking the Oli. Roxanne says, I think Olympia Beer was bought out by a bigger beer company. Probably Budweiser or something like that. Robert Perez says, good old June gloom keeps Southern California cool. Except it's not June yet. I was thinking June gloom too, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, we're still in May. But I love June gloom, actually, because yeah, it does keep you cool until the scorching summer. So. Fancy says it's been like this all week. Well, enjoy it while you can, because it's going to get hot down there. Just like it got hot here about a month sooner than last year. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. I did save some memes. Let's see, what memes did I save for today? Oh, look at this. Did you guys see this? Look at this guy. Whoops. Look at this loser. Doesn't he look great? That looks like the face. Now, hopefully, I don't know if I'm assuming that's a real picture. I don't think that's AI or whatever. I mean, I think that's the real him. But whatever. That looks like the face of a defeated man, because he's going down. And here's the meme: cheating husband, cheating on businessman, cheating golfer. Is there something that this clown hasn't cheated at? He's just a liar and a cheat and a crook and a criminal. And please, Lord Jesus, God in heaven, get rid of this motherfucker as soon as possible, because we're sick of him. You can have him back. We're sick of him. Of course, when he leaves this mortal coil, is that how it goes? I doubt he's going to where you're at. He's probably going to go down to the other place. So I guess I should redirect it. Dear Satan, we're sick of this motherfucker, and please, you can have him. Anyhow, so there's that. We got that. This guy is just a habitual liar and a cheater. He's guilty as sin, so the sooner they convict him, the better. And he's going to get convicted. That's for sure. Minus Kevin. Fancy says he looks awful. Yeah. Minus Kevin says a drunk housekeeper. Fancy, that should have been a big fire or a big fine. Big fire. They could have caused the fire. Huh? Keith Lee says the cicadas say hi. Oh, I bet they do. I bet they are chirping to you. Fancy says, I'm telling you she was a card, as in funny, I believe. Michael McDaniel, dumpy looking stumpy. Alvin Stube is here. Hello, Alvin Stube. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping on in. Make sure you hit that like button for me. Let's get those likes going and share and subscribing and all that good stuff. We're at 1,750 something subs on our way to 1 million, basically. Michael McAndrews goes, wherever he goes, he'll mess it up. Yes. It's the opposite of the Midas touch, I guess. I mean, just think, if you'd been born into a rich family and you inherited millions of dollars, however many it was, they keep changing the number, it was multi-millions of dollars. Do you think you would have just lost it 6 times and had to file bankruptcy 6 times or whatever? I mean, the guy thinks, see, this is the thing. This is the thing about Trump, and this is what he's passed on to his at least his 2 sons, and probably Ivanka too, where they think they're the movers and shakers. I think I've even heard Junior say that and use that term, like, and this is way back before, I think even before his dad was in the White House. Like, we're movers and shakers. We're movers and shakers. They just had this. They just thought they were so cool, and that they're just like these top businessmen in New York City, you know, and in Florida or whatever, and they're just these movers and shakers, and they get things done, and things have to go through the Trumps, you know, and they just had this horse shit, you know, bullshit image of themselves, and where they just thought and the thing about it is probably everybody else in the business community and people that were you know really truly successful business people and maybe knew of them or worked with them, they all knew that they were all clowns. But these clowns, these idiots, these Trumps, they didn't know. They're so, like, what is it, self-unaware? And they're going around thinking they're big hot shots, but they're a bunch of idiots. Just a bunch of idiots. The Trumps are idiots. It's kind of like if you watch Succession. And to me, Succession, if you didn't watch it, you know, it was an HBO series about this very rich family, multi-billionaire family, who runs a media conglomerate, and they had all kinds of other businesses. So I thought they were more like the Murdochs, Rupert Murdoch, you know, of Fox News. At least the patriarch of the family. He was probably more of a Rupert Murdoch, but the kids did seem a little more like the Trumps. Although they were, even those kids, those offspring, even though they're fictional, but they were still even way smarter than the real Trumps. But there's a lot of Trumpism in that. And the thing about Secession, the thing I was trying to, I guess the point I was trying to make is that they just thought they were hot shit. But it seems like everyone that worked around them always sort of, you know, outflanked them or outsmarted them. You know, they constantly were getting their asses handed to them. It's sort of my takeaway of the show, without giving away too much, because if you haven't seen it, but they're just so these Trumps they're a bunch of clowns, but they think they're movers and shakers, and I remember them saying that before. Michael McAndrews, he stole from his own family. Yeah, yes. And didn't he do something where he screwed his brother out of money, and he screwed everyone? This guy, no one should feel sorry for him, and no one should be sticking up for him because he has screwed so many people, even his own family. Fancy says Ivanka has abandoned him. Well, she's probably the smartest one of the kids. I mean, as far as like saying, okay, I'm, finally she's backing away. But she's just as corrupt as all of them. They're all corrupt. Breakfast, Jolie says, breakfast is over, gotta go, miss you all. All right, Jolie, you have a good time, man. Have a good time. I know you're having a great time, and I'm so happy for you. Have a good time down there. And I hope your breakfast didn't have to be like taken back and so forth. I hope everything went smoothly, I guess. Jolie says Trucker John has channel memberships and super chats, and you can also support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing. And you can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Thanks, Jolie, for putting that up there. Philly 3000's here. Hello, Philly 3000. Good to see you. We're just sort of ragging on Trump right now. It's kind of a fun little pastime that I have. Philly 3000. Now you have class in this chat. Yeah, Philly 3000. Thanks for classing it up for us. Roxanne Arnfield says, yes, Michael McDaniels, I think his niece would like a word. Yes. I guess that would be Mary, right? And apparently she's coming out with a new book. I never read her first book. I should get her book and read it as opposed to, well, I guess I shouldn't. I just realized I was going to spend time putting down another author of a book that I bought recently. Maybe I should just leave that subject alone. But yeah, Mary Trump, one of the few Trumps that sounds like an actual reasonable, kind of normal person. But yeah, she's the niece. So once you get out of that immediate family, maybe they get a little bit better. Fancy says Mary Trump is now on YouTube. They are the nerds. Michael McAndrews, I like Mary Trump. Philly 3000, I didn't know Mary Trump had a media. She's live now. Oh, great. Is she on right now? Is she trying to compete with Trucker John? Like I don't already have enough competition? Fancy, Mary Trump Media. Midas Kevin says, Mershon, the judge, is it Mershon, I think, or how they pronounce it? Should have put him in jail when he clearly said, you want to go to jail? That shouldn't have been a question. Well, yeah, I know, man. I agree but being a former president, I guess it's the big barrier here. But I gotta believe that Trump is really on super, super thin ice. Am I zoomed in more than usual, by the way? Maybe that's why I see the moles more. I think I'm zoomed in. I'm gonna try to do something here. Well, I don't think that helped. Or maybe it's just closer. I think I have the table closer to me because I wanted to make sure that it filled in all the green screen. Maybe that's what it is. So I'm moving up here to read chat, and it just really looks like I'm really zoomed in. Anyhow, Walter Bakarovich is here. Good morning, Trucker John, and to all. Hi. How about the House of Representatives yesterday? You could no longer criticize Trump on the House floor, and Ohio is stopping Biden on the ballot. I was it Randy Rhodes or something where she was? Or was it Nicole? No, it was Randy. I guess was playing. I think that's where I heard it. The other representative from Massachusetts was doing the whole thing, reading off all of these Trump crimes and stuff, and then they were trying to get that stricken from the record, or I guess they did. And his point was, and I think he'd said it on there was that, you can talk about Trump trials as long as you say it's a sham. if you say it's a sham trial, then you can talk about it all day long over here in Congress. But as soon as you take that away, say, no, this is a real legitimate thing, and he's up on these 83 felonies, and here's all these things he's done, then you can't talk about it. And so he was very good at pointing out this really huge double standard. And that's what happens when you vote for Republicans, ladies and gentlemen. The Republicans are in control of the House, and that's why elections matter. Voting matters. Elections have consequences. We need to vote these MFers out, these Republicans, get them out of power. We need Hakeem Jeffries as a speaker. We need the House, of course, to be in control there, to have the majority, and then we won't have to put up with that kind of nonsense. As far as the Ohio stopping Biden on the ballot, I haven't really looked into that, but I have I feel I kind of agree with Hal. Hal was talking about it, that Biden will be on the ballot. You're not going to have the incumbent president, who's in the major party. There's only two major national parties in this country, Republican and Democrat, and you're not going to have him not be on the ballot. So I would not worry too much about that. Felix 3000 says, I think Mary Trump adopted LOL. Well, was adopted. She seems too smart. Yeah, she can't be a Trump. She's way too smart and reasonable and, and kind and nice to be a Trump. Fancy, you are fine. It's okay. When you move up, it's better. Oh, you want me to move up? I don't know about that. Roxanne Arfield says, good morning, Walter Makarovich. And yes, it's just so maddening. Don't be maddening. Vote. I know we're all going to vote. I know. I'm preaching to the choir here. But, we're on YouTube, and potentially billions of people could be seeing this at some point. This little thing I'm doing here. And so to whoever's out there, I know my chatters here, my trucklers are, you guys are all, I'm pretty sure, going to vote. You probably vote blue. I mean, far be it for me to say what you do, but there could be some trolls out there. There could be some maggots out there. There could be some so-called independents out there that are watching or end up watching and a replay of this. And so my message to you is vote, but only if you're going to vote for Democrats, because Republicans aren't doing you any favors. They're not doing anything. They talk a big game, don't they? They sort of hit your little, your little emotional hot buttons there, get you all worked up. They put out a lot of false claims. They put out a lot of disinformation. Let's just call it what it is: lies and bullshit. Get you all worked up. But they don't do anything for you. They fuck you over. They just fuck you over. So stop voting for Republicans. The Democrats, we constantly are cleaning up the Republicans' mess. Every single time. Every single time we have Republicans that are in the White House, and if they get any control in the other branches of government, then we get in there and we spend all of our fucking time cleaning up after them. And then people get complacent and they don't vote, and then we get back into Republicans, and it happens all over. It's just been happening over and over. My whole lifetime, it's been happening over and over and over again, and I'm fucking sick of it. And you should be too. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but anyone who might listen to this that's a Republican or votes Republicans or doesn't like Democrats, you got to see that. These Republicans, they crash the economies every single time. They get high unemployment. Everything goes to shit. Clinton cleaned it up. Obama cleaned it up. Biden cleaned it up. We've got the best economic numbers we've had, I think, in my entire lifetime, and I'm 63. Certainly since before Reagan. So stop voting for Republicans. And you Democrats out there, stop being complacent. I don't think we're going to be complacent this year in 2024. I think November is really that's going to save our bacon, I think, November. But when 2026 rolls around, we still need November. We need whatever we gain in 2024. If we keep the White House, if we get the House back, if we keep the Senate, then in 2026 we can't just not show up. That's what happened in 2010 to Obama. Democrats stayed at home, and then the Tea Party won everything almost in the Congress. It was sickening. Now, the thing that gives me some hope is that in 2022, there was no big red wave. They barely won anything, just barely won a few seats here and there. So that gives me hope. And then these special elections that we've had, I kind of spit, sorry. Some of these elections we've had, the Democrats have been winning in seats that they don't normally win, or winning in numbers they don't normally carry. So those are all encouraging signs, but that's encouraging signs for 2024. And I know I'm getting probably way, way ahead. We should be concentrating on 2024, and I'm already jumping out to 2026. But I'm just saying that if we win 2024, which I think we will, as far as the White House, and I think we're going to get the House back. I really hope we can keep the Senate. And if we can do that, then in 2026, we can't stay home. We got to vote. You got to keep voting. It's not just a one-off where, I voted this time. No, we got to all vote every single fucking election. Every time. Otherwise, we get a Tea Party uprising. Or we get a MAGA revolution, or whatever the fuck they call it. So, there's no excuse for being complacent. And I know most of us probably in this chat aren't. But when we talk about the overall numbers of Democrats, and you can see how it falls off during these midterm elections, it's mind-boggling. It's always been mind-boggling to me. Because I've always voted. And I don't get how... and I guess I was kind of spoiled because I grew up in California. I feel like there's a hair on me or something. But anyhow, I grew up in California, and it was always easy to vote. Like... I wasn't doing mail-in voting until I became a truck driver, and I was able to get to do absentee voting then because I was on the road so much. But even prior to that, it was always so easy. I got my little pamphlet thing in the mail, got my polling place. On voting day, it was usually just a couple blocks away or a few blocks away from where I lived. I would go vote. There usually was almost no line. It was easy peasy, in and out in 5 minutes. So for me, it was very, very easy. I never even knew that there were lines for voting until, I guess it was either 2008 for Obama, or was it 2012 on the re-election? I guess it was the 2008 one where they were showing lines in like Georgia or in Alabama and all these places where people were waiting in line for hours and hours and hours, and I was just like, what? What the fuck is this about? I've never heard of that. I've never waited more than 5 minutes to vote. Ever. So when I saw people in the lines, I didn't understand that. It was just so foreign to me. I was like, and that goes kind of to one of my points about driving as a driver, going through states like Alabama, that felt like a whole different country to me. It didn't feel like the United States of America. And that's just kind of another example, like how foreign a place could be, where I see people lined up around the block and waiting for hours to vote. That doesn't seem like America to me. That seems like some third world country where people show their thumb with the purple thumb or something that they voted. It's not right. I don't. That's not America to me. I mean, it shouldn't take 8 hours to vote, standing in line. But anyhow, those are those red states. So what are you going to do? But just vote. If you can vote, and now I vote by mail. In California, since 2004 or so, I was doing absentee balloting, voting. And now in Nevada, I can do mail-in voting here. So, I realize some of these red states, they make it difficult to vote, but you just got to do it. Hey, Vicky Gingras? Because Vicky Gingras is here. Hello, Vicky. Good to see you. Formerly Vicky Bacardi. Rhymes with Bacardi. Howie Z's here. I'm glad people are not falling for the new Bernie RFK Jr. Yeah. Well, there's a couple reasons there. One, RFK Jr. is a complete nut job, whereas Bernie wasn't. I voted for Bernie. I like Bernie, and he has a lot of. I think Bernie has a lot of good ideas, a lot of good positions, policy positions, ideology. I mean, and you could disagree with him, and I think Hal Sparks disagrees with him a lot. But at least Bernie's not a nut job, whereas RFK is completely fucking off the rails. So there's that. And then number two, he is appealing, because he is a nut job, more to MAGA and more to people who would vote for Trump. So he's taking away Trump votes. So I say, party on, RFK Jr. You keep going, you keep running, you keep taking away those Trump votes. Fancy says, I like voting by mail. Me too. I love it. I love it. Mark Longo was here. I don't think I've seen Mark before, so thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe and share. The share button's a great thing. A lot of times when I'm watching other people's live streams, I share it. I hit the share button and I post it on Facebook. I post it on X. I post the link to their show on Threads. I post it on Instagram. I post it all these places. Discord. So that's a great way of helping promote the show. Hit that share button. Anyhow, Mark Longo says, I think America should have compulsory voting like Australia does. Yeah, people talk about that. And I would have to look more into that. I don't know, because my first reaction is like, okay, well, this is supposed to be a free country. You're supposed to have freedom of choice. If you don't want to vote, then you don't have to vote. That's kind of my first. That's my sort of knee-jerk reaction. So, I could maybe be changed on that if someone gave me a cogent reason how that doesn't violate freedom, by making people vote. It just seems antithetical to a free country. So Billy 3000 says Nikki Haley did a 180 turnaround. Now she wants to vote for Trump. I've been hearing that. I heard that on Stephanie Miller, and I've been hearing people in chat, but I didn't actually see or hear how that went down. So I'm going to reserve comment on that, because I don't know exactly how. Because here's another knee-jerk reaction is, if they said, "Are you going to vote for Trump?" and I could imagine her saying, "I'm going to vote for the Republican nominee," but. And if they pressed her and they said, well, if that's Trump, then she said, I'm going to vote for Trump. So I don't know. I mean, it's to be expected anyhow, Margo says, I guess you live in a majority white district. I'm guessing. Margo, probably in California I did, for sure. I lived out in the desert, very, small community. I mean, rural communities. But they were, pretty diverse. It's like, okay, I lived in Victorville. And if you're not from the area, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. And I lived in Apple Valley primarily. And we moved back and forth for some reason. My parents were always moving back. My mom and dad were always finding houses, and they'd buy them cheap, and they would fix them up and flip them, type of thing. This is way back before, that was like the shows. This is back in the 60s and 70s. But we would live in the house. It wasn't like you'd buy the house and then fix it up and flip it while we lived in our house. That was the house that we would live in. And so anyhow, so Victorville was pretty diverse. A lot of Hispanics, a lot of blacks, a lot of white, but it was still majority white, for sure. And then Apple Valley was almost all white. I mean, it was like 90% white probably. Oops, maintenance is doing some fucking shit, guys. Sorry for the noise. And airplanes too. We get a little bit of everything here. Trucker John Show. Airplanes, sawzalls, whatever they're doing. But anyhow, I never, but I don't know, I don't remember ever hearing of any stories anywhere in California of there being 8-hour-long lines in LA, down in LA. Now, I know, Margot, I forget where you're from. If you're from LA, have you ever stood in line in LA to vote for 8 hours or 12 hours? Weren't there reports of people 10, 12 hours? 8 hours, certainly 6, 7, 8 hours were being reported. I don't remember hearing of any of that in LA or San Francisco or any of the big cities, big metropolitan areas ever in California. But I'm just saying, in my personal experience, I never waited more than 5 minutes to vote. And like I said, we were out in rural desert communities, so maybe that played into it. But there were never any news reports. I never saw any news reports of waiting in line until I think it was 2008 for the Obama campaign there, of the 2008 election. And that was always, it seemed like it was always like Georgia and places like that where they were showing these big long lines. I never saw lines in LA. I didn't live in LA, I didn't vote in LA, but there was never a reported news report on it. And it would seem to me if there were people waiting for 10 hours to vote in Los Angeles in 1980 or 1984 or 1988, all those years that I lived in California. I lived all the way up until just a few years ago. I was in California. But I never heard of one report anywhere in California, and they have big cities in California, Los Angeles metropolitan area, 10 million people. Not once did I ever hear or see a news report where people were waiting in line for hours. Not once. So, and those aren't majority white districts or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of diversity, a lot of people of color in LA. Walter Makarevich, how can Nikki Haley endorse that lunatic after what she said about her veteran husband? Well, she can do it because she's a Republican, and Republicans are all two-faced hypocrites, basically. Let's see here. I'm just going to skip on down a little bit as I was kind of ranting. Vicky Gingras says, Philly, I don't want to say what I think fast hand Nikki is. You can imagine. Yeah, well, like I said, she's a Republican. I don't know what people expected. It's kind of like Cheney, Liz Cheney. Sorry for that noise. Maintenance is doing some kind of sawing, apparently, or drilling. I mean, yeah, I'm glad she stood up against Trump, during the Jan 6 hearings and all that stuff, but she's, at the end of the day, she's still a Republican, and I'm still probably against her around 90% of the things that she, espouses, or talks about. So it's not really surprising. Philly 3000 says, yeah, now she's telling her vote is to go for Trump, and after Trump said he didn't want them, laughing out loud. Well, good. Just let them all, fight each other. Mr. Spock is here. Hello, Mr. Spock. Let's see if I can do this. Live long and prosper. I'm not good at it. It looks like 4 spread out fingers, but hey. Good to see Mr. Spock here. Howdy, everyone. Busy day. Fertilizer day. Robert Perez, Trucker John for President 2025. Yeah, there you go, 2025. President of the Renters Association or something. I don't know. Mark Longo, hi John, or H John. I think I meant hi John. I've been here before, just haven't commented. Well, thanks for commenting today. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Hey, we got 30 people watching, 33 thumbs ups, 34 thumbs ups. Let's keep those thumbs ups a-coming. And all that good stuff. Philly 3000, you want fertilizer, go to Trump's golf course. Keith Polite, Nikki didn't just kiss the ring, she swallowed it. Mr. Spock, yep, you should listen to Bernie. Did a good speech on upholding the ICC decision on charging Bibi with, I think he meant war crimes, but there could be some water crimes. I wouldn't doubt it if there were also water crimes, because that guy is just as corrupt and evil as Trump. Netanyahu is the Israeli version of Trump. He needs to go. I say, hey, lock him up. Send him to The Hague. Lock his ass up. And maybe they'll actually get something done over there as far as peace and a 2-state solution. Right? Am I right? Am I right? Am I right? Roxanne says voting is a citizen's most important duty. I believe so. I agree with that. Midas Gibbons says Philly 3000. Picture this: what kind of person gets called a slut, a poor little rich whore, then says, "I'll vote for that." That's Nikki. Yeah, I don't remember him actually saying that, but I'll take your word for it. And if that's true, then it really shows what kind of person she is. And she's willing to just be treated like that. Yeah, that's just amazing. Margot says, Massachusetts no lines in my rural town. In my rural town. Sounds like a Springsteen song. I don't know. Fancy says, I stood in line in San Fernando Valley for like an hour. Really? Wow. Well, okay. I stand corrected. Although an hour is not as long as 8 hours or 10 hours. Like they were reporting that. Remember in 2008 and I think 2012? And probably even since then, in places like Georgia and Alabama or wherever, people were waiting in line for hours and hours and hours. I think they said, I think I heard reports of, I thought I heard 12 hours, but I don't know. But yeah, an hour, but I can see that, you know, the San Fernando Valley is a valley, that valley has about 3 million people in it. It's probably a 10 mile by 20 mile area. So what is that? 200 square miles. And it has about 3 million people in it. And that is more people in the state of Wyoming. The whole entire state of Wyoming. I think that's more people than Nevada, actually. Maybe. I forget what Nevada has. Nevada doesn't have very many people. Well, I think Nevada has more than 3 million. I think maybe 7 or 8 million or whatever. I think it's less than 10 million here in Nevada. So you have this little 200 square mile valley of 3 million people. I guess you might get an hour wait line, maybe. I don't know. I guess that's reasonable. But yeah, an hour. Okay, that kind of sucks waiting an hour. But it's not 12 hours or 8 hours or 10 hours. And see, I guess my point is, in the valley, I could kind of see that because it's a high concentration of people, and they can only have so many polling places. But in these other places, like that they were reporting, they were intentionally, these are red states. They were intentionally closing down polling places, reducing the number of polling places in order to create those lines. instead of having their normal number of polling places or even increasing, they could have increased some, and it would have shortened those lines down dramatically. But in California, they weren't intentionally like closing polling places down. It just was that in the valley there's a lot of people crammed into that valley. So I could see how you might have a wait at your polling place. Keith Fleet says California has a great voter's guide too. Yeah, the voter guide, I used to read through that and get a lot of good info on the candidates and the propositions and everything. Denise says, I never had to wait more than 1 hour voting in my city in LA. Vicky Gingras says, TJ, Nikki said she still thinks the things about Trump, but Biden is worse, so she is voting for TJT. See, that's the thing that a lot of them say. That's kind of like what Bill Barr was saying. Like, even though Trump, he said a lot of bad things about Trump or whatever, he would still vote. He's not going to, I think he said he would still vote for Trump because the Democratic Party, and I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, the Democratic Party is going to destroy democracy. So when you put it in those terms, I don't agree with him. But when you put it in those terms, I guess you can understand it. You know what I mean? It's like when you talk about abortion, and people say that abortion is murder, and they believe it's murder, like you're murdering an actual human being. Then, if that's what that person truly believes, then how are you going to dissuade them? I mean, other than the fact that you tell them, well, that's not a human being. That's it's a little glob of a couple cells. I mean. But anyhow, hey, Janelle Walker's here. She's listening in her car. Hello, Janelle. Thanks for being here. Always good to see Janelle in the chat. Howie Z, sausage fingers. Mine or Trump's? Probably mine. I guess I had my hand up there, didn't I? I was doing something. Fancy says my little brother is a jerk. Well, that's kind of the job of a little brother, I think. Michael McAndrews, my little brother turned Muslim. Wow, boy, he just went straight from jerk to no. I'm just kidding. Philly 3000 says, did you hear Newsmax got accused of storing evidence in the lawsuit of the election laws? I did not hear that. Storing evidence? Storing as in hiding evidence? Stealing. Oh, stealing evidence. I did not hear that, Philly 3000. I did not hear that. How is he? Turd Cruz did the same thing. Yeah, they take all that shit and they still back them because they're Republicans. They're going to stick to their party, and whether they believe it or not, they're going to say that their Democrat is worse. I know for me, I'm a Democrat, and I kind of feel the same way about Republicans. Like any Democrat is better than, even the worst Democrat is better than any Republican. But at least, I feel like at least we have something to back it up. I mean, how our economies do better. Our country does better under Democratic run governments. Big Hook is here. I am more concerned that we are fucking up the planet faster than the planet can allow nature to clean. We are the worst caretakers. Well, after we go extinct, the planet will be fine. Mr. Spock, I have never had to wait to vote. Fancy, that was for Obama. People really came out to vote. Yeah, that's true, Fancy. You're right. That was a big turnout. At that point, that was probably, I guess, one of the biggest turnouts. Roxanne Arfield says, seems that way, Big Hook, Big Hook. I'm going to skip down a bit here. Try to get caught up a little bit here. Philly 3000 says, John, do you know a lot of people that worked at Caesar's Palace? I do not. I don't know anyone who's worked at any casino. Fancy says, that's awesome, Kevin. Pardon my noise. There's the maintenance is upstairs doing some kind of shit. Mad Mac is here. Hey, Slava Ukraini. Mad Mac. Whenever I see you, the first thing I think of is Slava Ukraini, because you always say that. The small amount of respect I have for Nikki Haley has melted into oblivion. Yeah, it's gone. Hey, where's Nick Rich 56? I was just thinking about doing a filter, but Nick's not here to enjoy it. Let's see. Big Hook says, so who was surprised Trump had stolen documents in his bedroom 4 months afterwards? Well, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't find them earlier. I guess maybe the search warrant didn't cover his bedroom or something? Or that's the surprising part. I'm not surprised he still has shit. I'm convinced there's stuff in Ivana's coffin. But I am kind of surprised that it just now got found or whatever, you know. MJ Daniels says, the evidence is very obvious to any honest Democrats going back to FDR have been better for the USA than Republicans by a lot. Absolutely, MJ Daniel. Very good point. Mad Max says she sure did. They threatened her, no doubt. Mad Max, Slava Ukraini. I did this earlier, but you skipped over it. Oh, okay, sorry, Mad Max. But yeah, Slava Ukraini, man. Slava Ukraini. Big Hook says, Haley was never one I ever had any faith in from day one. She basically was running as I am better than the alternative. See, I was kind of hoping that also that, well, I guess it doesn't really matter, but because Trump's going to get the nomination, but I don't know if this is going to make it where they stop voting for her now in the rest of the primaries, you know. I just like seeing that because even though I know she's not going to win, but whenever she's pulling, you know, 10, 15, 20% of the vote, you know that just is a another thing for this guy. Let's see, where is it? That guy to just get all, you know, bent out of shape about. Big Hook says the bedroom was behind a hidden door, which they didn't search first time around. Oh, he's got a secret hidden door. Oh, he's such a mastermind, you know, criminal. He's like Dr. Evil. Hey, Hugger Greeter's here. Hello, Teresa, as I like to say. Good to see Hugger Greeter TK showing up. Mad Max says, I'm surprised that no one has gone out in the middle of the night and dug up the casket. Sounds like something I would have done in my teens, 20s, laughing out loud. They need to get a court order and exhume that body or whatever. In my humble opinion. In my humblest of opinions. Let's see, what else? I did save some other things here. What did I save here? What is this one? I don't even remember what it is. Let's see. What's this one say? Oh, this is about Alito. My wife hung our American flag upside down. It's not like she helped plan an insurrection like someone else's wife. Changed my mind. Boy, don't we have a couple of real winners? I mean, I know we could talk about Comey, Amy, whatever, Dildo, whatever her name is, and Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, Roberts. They're all clowns. They're all idiots. They're all good for nothing. But Thomas and Alito, we pretty much got them, caught red-handed here. These guys are insurrectionists. They're traitors. There's no doubt in my mind that Alito is. And Thomas had to know what his wife was talking about. And I think that makes him complicit. So these two motherfuckers, Alito and Thomas, they need to be removed. And let's just say in November we win everything. The House, the Senate, the White House. We're able to get rid of the filibuster. We've got the numbers, whatever. They probably still won't impeach those motherfuckers. We need to put on, I think that's what we need to get a big campaign, a big pressure campaign on our elected officials to get, let's see, which one is it? To get this motherfucker right here and his buddy Clarence Thomas, they need to be removed. They need to be impeached, removed forever from the court. Not just get their wrists slapped, not just get a stern talking to. They need to be removed. And we, I think, need to do some sort of pressure campaign. We need to start writing our elected officials and telling them, you need to impeach this motherfucker. Whether or not they can do it or not, whether or not we ever get the numbers that we would need to do that, it should be a big issue. Maybe to the point where one of them might resign. I don't know. But Thomas and Alito, they need to be gone. Because we have them dead to rights. Thomas taking bribes, Alito taking bribes. They've taken bribes. Just that alone should be enough. And now the fact that they were a part of this insurrection, in one way, Alito was ready to sign papers to try to stop the vote. The process there. They need to be gone. They need to be taken out. So if it's one thing we get behind, as far as a movement, this should be the movement. Wait, which one is it? Wait, there. This should be the movement to get rid of this motherfucker and his buddy Thomas. Both of those. I would love to see Kavanaugh go and Amy Coney Dildo Barrett go. They need to be gone too. But we got the fucking goods on these motherfuckers. There's no doubt. These guys, we know it. We have it. It's documented. There's no guesswork here. Thomas and Alito, it should just be automatic. Dude, you're gone. It should be that simple, but of course it never is. It never is it? But it should be. It should be as easy as just getting a vote, getting the Senate together and the House together, and do whatever you got to do, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, you're gone. And then it also should be really easy where Biden would have his two picks in there, and they get confirmed and voted in, and it should be that easy. It shouldn't be this difficult, folks. But they're making it difficult. The Republicans are obstructionists. That's all they are. They're the grand obstructionist party. That's all they do is obstruct. It shouldn't be this hard. These motherfuckers should be gone. They are corrupt. They've sullied the reputation of the Supreme Court, which is really hard to do because it's had a pretty low reputation for quite a while now with all these goddamn Republicans running it, with Roberts and everything. But this should be a no-brainer. Get rid of Thomas, get rid of Alito. Minus Kevin says, Fancy, the only problem I had in my caucus partner and her husband got the same callers, somebody who cussed us out both times. Mark Longo says, totally agree about removing Alito and Thomas. Laws mean nothing if they're not enforced. Hugger Greeter, no way I would want Nikki Haley for president, never. I wouldn't want any Republican for president ever. I never have wanted any Republican for president. I didn't want Reagan. I sure as hell didn't want H.W. Bush. I sure as hell didn't want W. And I sure as doubly didn't want Trump. I didn't want Nixon, and I was only like 12 at the time or whatever, or for the re-election. The first time I was only 7 going on 8, I think it was. So, or I guess I just turned 8 when that 68 election happened. And I didn't like him then, and as an 8-year-old. And I didn't like him as a 10-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 12-year-old. That's one thing I'm kind of proud of about myself, is I never liked Republicans. And I never fell for that old Ronnie Reagan, all shucks bullshit. I was Jimmy Carter all the way. Big Hook, you can't shame these conservatives. You can only embarrass the fuck out of them. Mr. Spock says, make it into a documentary like Geraldo. Recoup your money and then some. I was skipping down in the chat, so I missed that. This sort of the thread that you guys are talking about. Mockumentary. Minus Kevin says, Hugger, Nikki doesn't even know why the Civil War was fought. She sure as hell didn't want to talk about it, did she? She knows. She knows. She just didn't want to say it. She didn't want to say it was about slavery. Because for some reason, Republicans do not want to say that the reason for the Civil War was about slavery. They always want to say it's about states' rights. To which I will say, yeah, for the states to have the right to have slavery. But they don't want to say, that for some reason, admitting that slavery was wrong or admitting that slavery was the cause of the Civil War or anything like that, for some reason they can't admit that. And I don't know why. Because supposedly, wasn't it, they keep saying it was the Republicans that freed the slaves? Lincoln was a Republican and that the Democrats were the KKK. So why don't they take up the mantle of freeing the slaves? And why don't they admit that the Civil War was about slavery? Why can't they say that? Because they say it in these other things about, what I just said, but they're just weird. They're just weird, and they've twisted themselves into a pretzel, trying to appease all these different groups. There's the maggots and everything. It's just bizarre. But we see through it, Nikki. We see right through it. I still have volume up on this. I don't know if you guys could hear that or not. I'm going to turn that down. Hugger Greeter says, I do not even like Reagan as an actor, so why would I like him as a president? Never, ever. Yeah, me too, Hugger Greeter. I never liked him. I always saw him as just a clown. Getting really dry throat here. Mad Mac, Geraldo equal Geraldo. Oh yeah, I guess that's Geraldo, huh? Jackie says, Hugger TK, my dad could not stand Reagan. Good for your dad. Mr. Spock, Bedtime for Bonzo was a fine film. Bonzo was the best actor. Yeah, Bonzo was the star. Big Hook says, the possibility of getting power is more important to Haley. They run in low information states where their lack of qualifications won't matter. Kevin Midas Anderson, Trucker, then she comes out with it like, yeah, I knew that. Like when they did you dumb up back then if you knew. Laughing out loud. Then why did you dumb up back then if you knew? I understand what you're saying. I'm just not reading it right. Yeah, but you're saying like, oh yeah, you're saying to Nikki like, oh yeah, if she knew, then why did you play dumb or whatever? Hunger Greeter says, sorry all, but my hubby liked Ronald Reagan when he was president, not as an actor. Bad taste my hubby had. He used to be more conservative way back, not anymore. Maybe I had a good influence on him. Yeah, you probably did have a good influence on him. Roxanne Armfield says, the irony of it is Reagan was once a liberal. That's true. That is true. He switched. Big Hook, Haley is an accountant, and she can't account for anything. All right, let's see. What's my next little meme I did here? Uh-oh, what did I do? Oh, did you guys see this? Left or right? Those are the choices in November. How much more how much more is it going to take to convince people that Ronald Reagan was probably a Nazi, but that Donald Trump is a fucking Nazi? The few things he's read, it's probably all fucking Hitler manuscripts, Mein Kampf and whatnot, Hitler's speeches. His speechwriter is I think a self-hating Jew, and they put all this Nazi phraseologies into his speeches and into his rallies, and then this video comes out where they're talking about they use the word Reich. How much clearer does it have to be? Motherfuckers are fucking Nazi. And you think that that's better than a Democrat? You Republican voters who say that, who you might say you don't like Trump, but he's still better than a Democrat because the Democrats are going to destroy democracy. Do you think Nazism is democracy? Do you think fascism is democracy? It's not. By the way, it's all projection, isn't it? It's just all projection. Come to think of it. When they say the Democrats are going to destroy democracy, that's projection. Pure projection. Because that's what Trump is going to do and wants to do. He wants to destroy democracy. He wants to make it into an autocracy. He wants to be the dictator. And he probably wants it where when he dies, one of his kids will just take over, you know. He wants it to be like a royal family or whatever. How much more do you need to see, people? And I know most people here in this chat, you guys know, you guys, but if there's any maggots that happen to see this in a replay or any Republican voters that happen to see this, I guess I'm talking to you. How much more evidence do you need when they're using all this Nazi talk? Nazi talk. That could be a live stream for Stephen Miller or somebody. Hi, it's Nazi Talk with Stephen Miller. Thank you very much for everybody being here. Ho, 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 ho. Today on Nazi Talk, we're going to talk about the Fourth Reich. I don't know. Anyhow, they're just turning more and more, the Republican Party, more and more into this Nazi fascist party. And that's why I wonder, why is it so close? And maybe it's not as close as what the polls are saying, but it shouldn't even be close. The election. It should be a blowout. And I've said before, and I've said it even before Al said it the other day, that I think Biden is going to win by 10 million votes. Last time he won by what? 7 or 8 million? And I said this weeks ago that I think Biden's going to win by 10 million, at least. But then you see all these polls come out and you're like, why is it so fucking close? It shouldn't even be close. It shouldn't even be close. And it's because of propaganda. Big propaganda machines like Fox News and whatever, and it's the mainstream media trying to make it a close horse race. They want a close horse race because they think that brings in more ratings than if there's a blowout going on. I don't know. I'm of the mind that people like watching train wrecks and car accidents, so that might get ratings too. Like if Trump was getting his ass kicked, which he's going to, people might tune in to see that too. I don't know. But it's got to be more than the ratings. When it comes to news, they got to turn things back to where it's just about reporting the news. And it's not about just ratings. Not everything has to be about money, Have some integrity, news outlets. Start reporting all the good things that the Biden administration has done. Start reporting about how, this economy is kicking ass. And that Joe Biden has really turned things around since the Trump administration. Start reporting that. Please, New York Times. Please, mainstream media. Big Hook says, we live in dangerous times as the last generation who fought fascism and the Nazis are almost all gone. People forget when people who lived in it can't warn us. Yeah, and then I know Tom Hartman talks about that. That's sort of like that 70 or 80 year kind of cycle, I guess. Because that's when the survivors of the last bad thing, are all dying off. And I know we have lots of great movies, that depict like the Holocaust and things of this nature. But it's not really the same as having, like family members that talk about it and remember it. Mr. Spock says North Minehead by election. Mr. Hitler is drawing a huge crowds. I don't know what North Minehead is. Fancy 3000. Fancy 3000. Fancy, not Fancy 3000. No relation to Philly. Fancy says the GOP is not out. Oh, it's not our grandfathers Republicans. Yes, that's true. They've changed a bit, especially since Eisenhower, right? Philly 3000. The Republicans don't realize how much hold Putin has over his people. Yes, there's that aspect too. The Moscow Mitch and Moscow Ron Johnson. Trump is clearly in Putin's pocket, and Russia is like the new Nazi Germany, as far as Putin, the way Putin is running things. Putin is another Hitler, Big Hook says, sadly, one of the greatest educators out there is named Robert Reich. Robert Reich. I think he pronounces it Reich. Irony? But yeah, he's good. I like Robert Reich. Hugger Greeter says, a joke GOP calls themselves the Grand Old Party. They are the gross old party to me. Yes, gross old party. Fancy says, we need the House and Senate and the presidency. Yeah, I agree. So get out there and vote. Everybody vote. And anyone that you think might be voting that would lean Democratic, vote and get them to vote. Philly 3000 says, yeah, but let's not jinx the count, okay? Okay. Hugger Greeter says, the news said the gas prices and groceries are finally going down, hopefully. I did notice gas prices were going down, even though I don't buy gas because I drive the electrics. But I even here in Nevada, it looked like it had dropped down a little bit. Mad Max, I wasn't involved in politics before Trump. Whatever happened would happen, and since I'm not a citizen, I didn't feel I had the right to offer my opinion anyway. But then a liar rapist came along. Yeah, I mean, you can only be silent for so long and for so many things, right? Philly 3000 says he just passed a bill to help veterans from the garbage fires where they want to call from. Okay. 100 Readers, same here, Mad Mac. Sadly, not as bad as my younger sister. She is obsessed with it, especially with Trump, a supporter. He does no wrong to her. She drank the Kool-Aid. But always hold out some hope that they'll reach their limit. You know? Michael Albing-Andrews, I'm listening to the Mary P. Show too. Okay. Roxanne says, so sorry, Hooker Greeter, Freely 3000. Speaking about movies, Congo is on YouTube and it's ads free. Alrighty. See, Hooker Greeter says, thank you, Roxanne Armfield. What can I do if my sisters are foolish? It's their problem. All you can do is just be true to yourself, you know, and what, I don't know if you guys talk politics or not. Some people have said it's not talk politics. But if you do, just make sure you're armed with some facts, you know, and just resist the temptation. Because for me, I'm like, it's tempting to just call people stupid. But you can't, you know, that doesn't work. You got to have some facts on your side. And just bring on the facts. Bring on the truth. Fancy says, new episodes of Interview with the Vampire on Prime. So now we're just talking about all the stuff you guys are watching. I've been watching The Sympathizer. What is that? Is that HBO Max or Max? They just call it Max. I don't know. Whatever it is. I've been watching. That's okay. It's Robert Downey Jr. produced, and he stars. He plays like 5 different characters, so it's kind of weird. I think it's kind of weird. But he's good, and it has a lot of it's about Vietnam. When Vietnam fell, follows Saigon, and about a lot of the Vietnamese, some of them that came over here. And it's kind of this, I guess, fictional story about this guy who was kind of a spy. Not kind of a spy, I guess he was a spy and everything. For North Vietnam and all this kind of stuff. But so it's kind of interesting. I've been enjoying it. That's what I've been watching lately. The Sympathizer. Michael McAndrew says, oops, it's Mary T, not Mary P. I thought it was, when you said Mary P, I was thinking like, I think he's talking about Mary Trump, and I was like, is her middle name start with a P or something? I don't know. Roxanne says, I hope they see the light eventually. Yeah, just, you know, you can just hope. Hope for the best. Hugger Greeter says, I knew right away Trump was no good. I had this strong feeling I was right. I've never liked the guy, ever. Since, I mean, way back, going into the 80s, when he was just a tabloid. He was always in the tabloids and the gossip columns and the gossip shows about his divorces and his trysts and hanging out at, what was that club whatever in New York, you know, and all that kind of shit. I just never saw anything interesting about him or to like about him. Hugger Reader says, Fancy, I sometimes can have a temper and impatient, trying to improve. I actually used to be worse. Well, yeah, that's the thing. As we grow and go through life, hopefully we learn our lessons along the way. Mad Max, so sorry, Teresa. That cannot be a calm situation with a Kool-Aid addict. They do not listen to reason. Philly 3000, do you remember those old punching clowns we used to? We needed one like that for Trump. Yeah, get a little aggression out, you know. Midas Kevin says, Fancy, I knew in any way celebrities can't run for president. They have no law background. Yeah, it sure does it sure is nice, right, to have a president that at least knows history and knows, you know, not only our own history, but has a good understanding of like foreign relations and, you know, of international law and international happenings. Trump knows nothing. He knows nothing. He's an idiot. He's a moron. And he's gotten by all these years by just faking it and baffling people with bullshit. That's the only reason why he's had any whatever success that he may have had is because he's just that sleazy, greasy salesperson who knows how to just sort of baffle people with bullshit, just enough to make the sale. That's all. That's his only sort of talent he has, I guess, if you want to call it that. But other than that, he's a fucking moron. So it would be really nice, and it's really nice now. I think Biden is very smart. He knows world history. He knows foreign relations. He knows, you know, the past interactions of the Middle Eastern countries and Asian countries and European countries. He knows all this shit. Trump is like he's hearing it for the first time. And then he tries to just bullshit his way through it. He's a bullshit artist. And a lot of people are being suckered in by his bullshit. I'm talking to you, maggots. Billy Cook says, here's the rub. Nice things like infrastructure come when we all pay our fair share of taxes. Tax breaks for the rich help nobody. The cost of infrastructure triples every 10 years. Biden's rebuilding. Building back better. I have no problem with that little phrase there. Hugger Gritter says, I so agree with you, Mad Mac. My sisters do not believe they are conspiracy theorists. I disagree. Hugger Gritter, I never voted Republican and never will. I never have either. Hugger Gritter. TK. I never have either. Mad Max says, I would need a puncture repair kit standing by if I had one of those clowns with the tramp painted on it. I wouldn't be able to hold back. Philly 3000 says, The Boys from Brazil is an excellent movie. It's about cloning Hitler's. Gregory Peck plays the mad doctor. He has to kill all the fathers of 54 boys like Hitler's dad. I remember that movie. Yeah, that's going way back, huh? Into the 70s, I think, huh? Big Cook says, if you can't find evidence for your conspiracy, then it's bullshit distraction for the lazy people for whom reality is just too difficult. Midas Kevin says, Trucker, what did Reagan do? Ronald Reagan was an actor. Oh, I want to be president. Trump did a game show. I want to be president. Equal no match. Yeah, I agree with you. They really had no business being president. Although Reagan was governor of California, so at least he had that. You know, I mean, he did have some political experience. As much as I don't like Reagan, I mean, Reagan still, I think, was a lot smarter than Trump. Fancy says, if you see some random cussing, just ignore it. Hey, you guys, you can cuss, you can pretty much cuss, as long as you're not, like, calling someone a name or whatever, you know what I mean? But that's in the chat. Furley 3000, oh, I forgot, it's on YouTube for free. It has no ads. Hunger Greeter says, Trump, just go away, never come back. Another day. Most people cannot stand you because you do not have a clue. My little poem. Tim Nelson's here. Hey, good to see Tim. Thanks for being here. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and share button for me. I would appreciate it. Good to see you. Philly 3000 says, you know what would be a great thing that Biden can do? Challenger on game Jeopardy. I guarantee he wouldn't do it. Challenge Trump to a game on Jeopardy. Mad Mac, Holocraft Covenant is an excellent book. and an OK Film 2, Holcroft Covenant, a Robert Ludlum book. Oh, I read a lot of those Ludlum books. I don't remember Holcroft Covenant, though. I'm not sure if I read that one. Big Hook says, our saving grace is bad politicians are such bad actors. Only psychopaths can pull it off with their certainty. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that, but Trump is certainly a sociopath, I would say. So what other thing did I have here? Oh, I have this little ditty. I like this little ditty. Here's Biden in his Corvette. Let me shrink that down a little bit. There he is there. It says, get in. We're going to save democracy. Hey, I'm riding with Biden all the way. I love Joe Biden. I think he's a great guy, great human being, a great president. I think the proof is in the pudding. You know, I think he's done a lot of great things here. I think we're having the greatest economy that we've seen in 50 years at least. I thought I had a little list of his accomplishments on here somewhere. I don't know where stuff goes. Where does stuff go? Anyhow, I don't know. I guess I don't have it on here, but I was going to just pop it in there real quick. I don't know. I guess I could just I put this one up before. Joe Biden saved this country from the most dangerous, incompetent and corrupt president in American history. I'm voting for Joe again in 2024. So there we go. We got a double blast of riding with Biden. I'm voting for Joe. I'm making it official, folks, right here. Trucker John is endorsing Joe Biden for president. In case you didn't know. Andrew Petrie's here. Says, Trucker John, hey, brother, was just watching the stage collapse in Mexico. What a shitstorm. Oh, Andrew, well, first of all, thanks for being here. I'm glad you're here. Hope you're okay. I just saw, I think it was on the Weather Channel. They post stuff. I didn't really read the story, but I think it said 9 people were killed. And it was just over a caption, 9 people killed in stage collapses in New Mexico or whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty horrible. Pretty scary stuff there. Kevin says, hi, Grader. My little poem, Trump went up to fetch a pail of water. Trump fell down. Trump died. So sad. Like I said, Lucifer, you can have him. We're sick of him. Or God, whoever. I don't care, but we're just sick of him. God, Lucifer, wherever. Whoever wants him. Whoever takes him. We're sick of him. You guys can have him. Mad Mac, hell yes he did. Go Joe. And I think that's in response to where am I at? There it is. Everything I gotta remember, everything's backwards there. Yes. Big Hook, I'm so tired of the Biden bashing. Every day he pulls another rabbit out of his hat and helps people examine the latest batch of student loan forgiven. Yeah, it's like millions of people have gotten those loans either reduced or done away with. Forgiven. Yes, forgiven. Would Trump ever do that? No. Hugger Reader says, even the devil does not want Trump. Mad Max says, with TJ's endorsement, it puts Joe Biden over the top with a landslide. Thanks. Oh, anytime. No, yeah, I don't mind. Joe, you can thank me later, Joe Biden. But you do have the official Trucker John endorsement. Yeah. Andrew Petrie's at Jackie, hi, my friend. Hello, my friend. You are my friend. Philly 3000, it's the stupid auto chat. It's doing that. Oh yeah, that autocorrect thing, yeah, it's the bane of my existence. I hate it. I agree with you there. Andrew Petrie at Roxfield, Armfield. Hi, sunshine. Good to see you. Fancy says, Tim is here, yay. Yeah, yay. Tim Nelson is in the chat room. I was thinking, should I call it the truck stop, the rest area, the driver's lounge? I just call it chat room, I guess. I don't know. But thanks for being here. All y'all, thanks for being here. We got 25 watching and 41 thumbs ups. Can we get the 50 thumbs ups? Can we get the 50? Do I hear 50? Anywhere in 50? 50 is the 50 in the corner over there. No, I don't know. I'm doing a bit. That was a bit. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I could not hold it. I could not hold it in. And I don't have a quick mute button. I mean, I could mute it up here, but I just couldn't get it up there in time, and that didn't sound right. That did not sound right, what I just said. But anyhow, Big Hook says the Republicans keep tearing down the country. It's disgusting. It's vulture capitalism, which I was talking about the other day. On steroids, they won't be happy until it's only billionaires, politicians, and homeless. I brought up the term vulture capitalism last night in Liberal Dan's chat room. Philly 2000, but yet most people think we're in the recession. That's the problem. Did they think that? I guess so. They're so misinformed. They think we're in a recession. We're really in a boon. Fancy says, God bless you. Thank you. Hugger Reader, it's 80 degrees here today, tomorrow 83, in the 70s this weekend, and Monday 70. Very nice temps. Yeah, that sounds nice. Low 80s, upper 70s. That's nice. That's pretty nice. And you get if you get like a nice little cool breeze coming through, you know, it's pretty good. Mad Max says Trump is not smart enough to be Satan himself. He is only in the army of hell as one of Satan's privates. Laughing out loud. See what I did there? He's one of Satan's privates. I get it. 100 degrees. Sorry, a typo. Oh, I breezed right over that. My mind auto-corrected it, apparently, because that's how I saw it as degrees. Roxanne Armfield, yeah, Big Hook. That's what happened to Red Lobster. Yeah, we had that big thing in the Little Redan show last night about Red Lobster. Philly 3000. Actually, I didn't vote last time, but I will this time. Yes, please do Philly 3000, especially if you're voting for Joe Biden. If you're not voting for Joe Biden, then you can just stay home. But yeah, but anyone who's voting for Joe and down ticket, we got to get those down ticket votes to folks. We need to give Joe Biden the Congress that he needs. So let's vote down ticket. Let's take back the House. Let's keep the Senate. Please, I implore you. I implore you. Hugger Reader says, my husband will be cooking out Sunday or Monday sausages and cold salads. That sounds good. Fancy says, sausages, yeah. That I thought that sounded good too. And maybe a nice cold beer of some sort to go with it. Would sound good. Minus Kevin, you're welcome. Big Cook says, Mad Mac, heaven won't take Trump and hell's afraid he will take over, so they unleashed him on us to deal with. Yeah. Midas Kevin says, Fancy, I had jalapeno sausages. My yum. Okay, let's see. Do I have any other memes of the day? Let's see. What else do I got up here? What else? I don't think I do. Oh, I think I have. Oh, well, going back to Alito again. Then there was this. I meant to put this up earlier when I was doing the other Alito stuff. So not only, oh look, now for sure I zoomed in my face, I think, didn't I? I don't know what. I'm sorry about the big giant hand, the big sausage fingers. But I had to squeeze the picture down in order so my face wasn't like totally big in it. But yeah, so here we have, going back to, we're talking about Alito. So not only did he have the upside down flag at his house, but then at his, apparently his beach house. Isn't that nice? He's got a nice house in, wherever he's at, in Maryland or wherever he lives there. And then, Silver Spring, Maryland or whatever. And then, I don't know where he lives, and then he's got a beach house. Isn't that nice? Also, and he's got this flag that has been used by Jan 6ers and these type of groups. So, yes, it's a Jan 6 symbol. Like I said, that motherfucker needs to go. I mean, how much more clear can it be? He's a traitor. There's no room for that on the Supreme Court of the United States. It's bad enough that these guys are, we look at them as being a Republican judge or a Democratic judge. There shouldn't even be any of that. This should all be nonpartisan. It should all be objective. It all be about making sure that things pass constitutional muster. That's what, in the basic nutshell, that's what the Supreme Court should be about. Making sure that whatever laws get passed or whatever cases get brought to them meet constitutional standards. That's basically what it is. So it's bad enough when we say, oh, this is a Republican judge and this is a Democrat judge. There should be no Republican, no Democrat in the Supreme Court. It should all be nonpartisan and just being objective and good constitutional scholars, basically, I think. But then you have this guy, Alito, who is just not even hiding it. I mean, did he think the flags were invisible? I mean, obviously they put those flags out for a reason. Because he knows people are going to see it. So he wants to send out this message to these Jan 6 assholes and these maggots and these white supremacists, and these white nationalists. He clearly wants to put a signal out that I'm on your side. I'm with you. So he needs to go. Even more so than Thomas, but Thomas too. And I urge everyone, call your representatives, write postcards, whatever. We need to start a pressure campaign to get this motherfucker to resign. And Thomas too. Both of them. They need to be gone. There's no room for this on the Supreme Court. No room whatsoever to be supporting white nationalist groups that want to overthrow the government. So, it's ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous. And I think I'm going to... I like having Joe up there. And so I think for the rest of the show, I think we're going to have Biden up here. I think I did all those memes already. Yeah. Oh, here's one. Here's the one I was looking for earlier, I think. I mean, this doesn't have quite what I was looking for. There was another one that had more of the list of accomplishments or whatever. This is a sort of a generalized thing here. Am I still in the picture? Can I squeeze my little head in there? But anyhow, it does. It does. The sentiment is there about Biden, who, he understands math and science, and he knows about how to be a leader. He's a leader. He's a respected leader. Trump is a joke. He's a clown. Other leaders just look at him and they roll their eyes and they laugh behind his back. Talking about Trump. Biden's a respected fucking leader, man. And he's a decent human being. He certainly has empathy. Trump is a sociopath, which is, very opposite of having empathy. Biden is a good, honest man. He believes in service to the country. He's kind. He believes in diversity, humanity. He has actual real friends. He doesn't have just sycophants hanging on him just to try to get a piece of him. I believe Joe Biden has real, true friends. People that care for him, for him. He believes in equality. He believes in love. I think Joe Biden is a very loving, kind, decent human being. He really is. There really couldn't be two more polar opposites than Joe Biden and Donald Trump. Because you look at this list to see where is it over here? You look at this list. Wait, there we go. You look at this list, and this list, everything is like the opposite for Trump. It's amazing. It's remarkable, actually, when you think of it. And I think I knew this all along, but just in reading this list and going over it, it just sort of was a light bulb moment of how polar opposite Donald Trump is to Joe Biden and vice versa. It's amazing. It really, truly is amazing. And the sad thing about it is that maggots, they think that Trump is a great guy. They're wearing diapers and saying that real men wear diapers. There were women that were wearing t-shirts that said, "He can grab my pussy." They love this guy. They think that Trump is fucking awesome. So what does that say about them? Apparently they're terrible people. If you think Donald Trump is a great guy and a great human being or something, there's something wrong with you. There's something very, very wrong with you. It's mind-boggling. It really is. It really is mind-boggling when you think about it, how opposite they are. I mean, it's not more. It's putting this graphic up, to me, has made that like so clear. Like I said, I've always known it, but to see that graphic right there, it just really brings it home, man. It brings it home. Philly 3000, the new show, The Odd Couple, starring Trump and Biden, and I know I think people have made jokes about that kind of before, and that it's kind of a funny thing, but the thing about that is you could never make Trump. See, the thing about The Odd Couple is, Oscar was the grumpy slob, right? Or was it the other guy? I don't know, but the Jack Klugman guy. Well, it depends on which, the movie or the TV show, right? And Walter Matthau was the grumpy guy in the movie, and then Jack Klugman was a TV show. And there was something likable and lovable that you could find about that character. with Trump, there's really nothing likable or nothing lovable. It would kind of be a horrible show, because if you did it honestly, if you portrayed the Trump character as true to Trump as possible, you would hate that. You would just hate that character. There would be nothing redeeming about it. So I don't know if it would be very enjoyable to watch, unless the Biden character just like beat the shit out of Trump. Then that might be enjoyable. But yeah, but I understand, the sentiment of that joke. But in reality, I just don't see it working, because there's nothing redeeming about Donald Trump. There's nothing you can find that you could go, oh well, at least he's something. I'm trying to come up with something redeemable. Like, nope, I got nothing. Sorry about that. Nothing. Walter McCarovich says, just remember the 2025 project is real. These MAGA cult is already working for world domination in other countries already. They are just as big a threat as Trump. That's why democracy is constant gardening. Is that the thing? Is that what we call it? It's constant gardening. But you know what? Gardening can be nice, and it can be relaxing, and it's good exercise, and you can burn calories. So I don't see a bad thing about constant gardening. Now, constant gargling, that's a whole different thing. You might want to, take a break from that for a little bit. But constant gardening is, I don't see anything wrong with that. And basically, all it takes is constant voting. Just make sure you vote. And spend 10 minutes a day. I know we're busy. I know a lot of us, we have families, we have kids, we have jobs, we have, extracurricular activities going on, whatever it is, running around. But you can take 10 minutes or 15 minutes out of your day just to get caught up on what's going on in Washington, D.C., what's going on at your state capitol, what's going on in your local politics. You can take 10 or 15 minutes. People used to do that all the time, go on the shitter and read a paper. Well, now you can go on the shitter and read your phone. People say don't bring your phone in there because it gets germy. Well, that's what these are for. I'm trying to get that. Wait. That's what these are for. Disinfecting wipes. Clean your goddamn phone off. Take 10 or 15 minutes a day or every other day, and just you don't have to be a political expert. You don't have to be a political wonk. Just take a few minutes out of your day. Try to know some of the basics of what's going on. Know that the Biden economy is kicking ass. Complete turnaround. Just know that Trump intentionally tanked COVID response and is responsible for 1 million deaths. Something flew around here. Just know that he just gave trillions of dollars in tax giveaways to the rich. Just kind of know that. It doesn't take too much just to read a little bit. 5, 10, 15 minutes, whatever. And then clean your phone. If you're on the shitter reading things on your phone. Oscar was the slob. Yes, Oscar. So I guess Kevin, I have to go back and see what people are talking about Kevin saying something. How far back was it? I don't know. I have it on all chat. What did Kevin say? Everyone's saying it was horrible. I don't know. I might just skip it. Because I'm looking for Kevin. Minus Kevin. So minus Kevin says, I remember when Trump did his first address, this woman was wearing a vagina hat and a shirt with an arrow pointing down, grabbing by. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. I saw videos of that. Women wearing shirts that say, "He can grab me by my pussy." Michael McAndrews, I must miss some chat because I have it set on top chat. Oh yeah, put it on all chat, or else you're gonna miss some. Mr. Spot, gardening is never ending. Yeah, like I said, and if you stop gardening for any length of time, then you'll know that it's going to make your work twice as hard if you try once you try to go back and then you got weeds all over. But if you're doing constant gardening, then the workload should be a little easier because you're just constantly maintaining it. You're not letting it get out of hand. But if you stop, then you're gonna have then you see, oh my God, what's going on here? Then it's going to be a big job. So that's why constant gardening is better, because then it doesn't get all unruly and out of hand, and then you got to hire contractors to come in or something. Like Wes Webb is always hiring people down at the Home Depot apparently to do his yard work. Philly 3000 says, yeah, then you can't have no garden party to see your old friends, laughing out loud. I went to a garden party. Bad Mac TJ, you are all over the place today. Am I? Am I really? Philly 3000, Biden to Trump, it's like oil to vinegar, laughing out loud. That's a good way of putting it. Andrew Petrie says, good thing I have fast reflexes. Oh, Andrew says, I almost flushed my glasses down the toilet. Yeah, good thing you snatched those right up before they fell in. That's a good thing. Now, you know that if Nick Rich were here, he would love this next section. Right? If Nick Rich were only here right now, he would love this special appearance by the purple beard guy. But maybe he'll watch the replay. So Nick Rich, this is for you. Just want you to know, I feel fantastic. I hope you feel fantastic. Hope we all feel fantastic. Because that's what this is all about. Feeling fantastic. I know sometimes we can feel a little down in the dumps. We've got shit going on in our personal lives. We got shit going on with politics. There's a lot of really D-bags out there. Greg Abbott comes to mind. I don't know why. I say D-bag and then Greg Abbott just popped into my little purple bearded mind. But, you know, we can hold out hope. We can vote. Vote blue or purple. If that's no. You're gonna vote blue. You might make your state purple if it's red. Purple might be the goal. But in order to do that, you're gonna have to vote blue. So vote blue, no matter who, if you know it's good for you. Trucker John told me that once. And it's just stuck. It just stuck with me. When Trucker John said that, I said, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to use that. I like that. Vote blue no matter who, if you know what's good for you. That is a Trucker John classic. So, and I'm using it. I'm gonna go back to my purple beard cave and tell everyone I know to vote blue no matter who, if you know what's good for you. And we need to do it. We just got to do it. And that's all I got to say about that. And even I, okay, I know I'm a tough old cookie. I can be a little hard on the exterior. You really don't want to bite into me because you'll probably break some teeth because I'm a tough cookie. But hey, I wholeheartedly agree. You got to vote blue no matter who, if you know what's good for you, if you know what's good for your cookie, if you know what I mean. I don't know what I meant by that, but you got to vote blue. Don't be a schmuck. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Don't be a schmuck. Don't fuck it up. No, I'm trying to think of rhymes with schmuck. And, you know, of course I go right to the F word because that's just how I am, I guess. Sorry about that. But even as old tough cookies, we know that you got to vote blue because the alternative would be not good. Would not be good. Even I see that as an old tough cookie that's just been laying there in the bottom of the bin for a long time. Very tough, very tough. But yes, I agree with old purple beard guy. Vote blue, no matter who, if you know it's good for you. And now back to Trucker John. Okay, so special appearance by Purple Beard Guy and Tough Cookie. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys, for chiming in. Thanks for that. Okay, so here we are over the 2-hour mark. I've been going 2 hours, 10 minutes. And truck rhymes. Yes, Petrie, Andrew Petrie, thank you. Yes, truck would have been appropriate, but Tough Cookie just doesn't go there. He goes right to the F word. And it has a lot to say about Tough Cookie. You know what I mean? Roxanne over Muck. Yeah, getting lots of suggestions there. Tough Cookie is probably going to take that into consideration. Midas Kevin says, yeah, and then Gropert and MTG both stole songs from Jay-Z without permission. Wow, look at that. They're both using the same source material. Fancy Muck, Luck, Buck. Mad Max says, definitely it's Roxanne. They are Orange Kool-Aid addicts. And Michael Andrews, Boobert. I just like saying Boobert because I like saying boob. No. Anyhow, here we are. I'm going to probably put an end to this. I got some little things I got to do. But I will be back at 3 p.m. because today's Thursday. And Hal Sparks comes on at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So if you would like to join me for a little warm-up, a little hangout before Hal comes on, and we will just hang out for like an hour. And when Hal comes on, I just heard the Sawzall again, or whatever that was. And we'll hang out and get ready for Hal. So guys, look for me in about 3 hours and 40 minutes, if my math is correct. 3 hours and 40 minutes, I'll come back on. I'll probably change hats and change shirts or whatever, and maybe find some more graphics to pull up. And we'll hang out. How's that sound? I think that sounds cool. I think it sounds good. I want to thank each and every one of you. We got 45 thumbs ups today, 23 watching. So how does that happen? You guys are using multiple accounts. Or people are coming in and leaving. I don't know. But whatever it is. So we were talking earlier about the Suno AI app, and I write these lyrics and I put songs together, and then the Suno makes a song. So we'll do an outro. I personally really like this outro song. I really do. I think it sounds really good. Now on here the quality is pretty bad on this app, but I did post a video, just a separate video. And if you listen to that, like I listened to it in my car speakers last night when I was charging up the Tesla, and it sounded fantastic on my car speakers on the video, not the replay video, but there's a separate video. I think it's called Door Chimes because I decided to name that song Door Chimes because there's in the lyrics there's a thing that says Door Chimes, and I've got hairs in my eyes and it's just all over. Anyhow, so we're going to outro with that song, and I will see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Thank you, everyone, for being here. You guys are so awesome. It's fun hanging out with you. We're just shooting the shit here, and you guys are great. And I'll see you guys at 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes. Might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I style of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, this time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about gold chimes. But if we did, I'd be on too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving. Who am I trying to kid? At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. Doing this live stream, baby, it's been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again, right here on the Trucker John live stream. We gonna do it again and again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We gonna come back and do it all.